So hopefully you now have all your ingredients together, so we can move on to making the batter. So I'm just going to measure my plain flour into the mixing bowl, so 120 grams of plain flour. You can sieve it if you want, but I honestly am not sure it makes a huge amount of difference. I'm just going to measure my milk ready. So 300 millilitres of milk. And then what you do, add a little bit of salt, and then you make a little well in the middle of your flour and crack in the eggs. Now you take your whisk and basically whisk the flour and eggs together. It looks a bit messy at this stage, but it will improve. You can use an electric whisk if you're concerned about it being completely lump free, but it does usually work with a balloon whisk. You just have to work a bit harder and you get a little workout for your arms while you're doing it. So try and scrape the flour from the sides. Gradually incorporate the milk into the mixture. So you just want to pour a little bit in at a time, not too much, and then absorb it into the mixture and whisk it round. And then it will slowly, the lumps will start to disappear. I'm just going to put a tea towel under there. You might have to shake the mixture out of your whisk a bit because it gets a little bit caught. That's better. So just keep whisking. It is quite hard work on the arms. I think we're ready to add a little bit more milk. So add a bit more and whisk again. So the reason we have pancakes on Shrove Tuesday is because Christians, particularly in the Catholic Church, used to fast and eat a much less rich diet during Lent. And so on Shrove Tuesday, they would use up the fat and eggs that they had so that they wouldn't be tempted to eat them during Lent. We don't necessarily follow the same rules these days, but we keep the tradition of making the pancakes. Okay, a bit more. You can see that most of the lumps have now gone. You want to make sure you just really scrape the bottom of the bowl to incorporate all the mixture. You can add a bit more milk now because it's basically done. And then you end up with quite a runny batter, but don't worry about it because we want the pancakes to be quite thin, so that's fine. I'm actually going to stop there. When you get to a point where you think it's quite runny, you may not need to add all the milk. Okay, so that's the batter. So we'll come back in a few minutes and actually start making the pancakes.